Speak today about the BC Federation of Labour and everything that we have gained by our affiliation with them. So I give you Irene.
Hi everyone. Well, I may be Secretary Treasurer of the BC Fed, but I'm still very proud to be with you as a teacher. You would have been amazed by the rally yesterday. There were 10,000 people on the lawn of the legislature standing with you in your fight against Bill 22. It was just an amazing sight from the stage up front. And somehow yesterday in Victoria, there were about 20 sites that were picketed. I don't know how that happened, but they did get picketed, and the vast majority of people honored the picket line. They were from BCGEU, many thousands of them, because they were in Victoria, right? Thank you to BCGEU, from Coke 378, from CEP, and a number of other unions. So you need to give a big thank you to the unions who yesterday stood by you by honoring that wonderful system we have in BC called a picket line is a picket line and you don't cross it. And yesterday there was a chant, kill Bill 22, kill Bill 22. People understand what's wrong about this legislation. This legislation shows an appalling lack of respect for teachers. It's another attack on teachers, but worse than that, it's an attack on kids. There will be not a shred of protection for kids if and when, likely, Bill 22 passes. All semblance of class size limits are gone. No more consent for teachers in grades 4 to 7 to exceed 30. No more class size averages, right? No more consultation process, even though it was a pain in the neck, we all know that. At least principals had to stand to account with teachers. No more report from the superintendent on the number of class size overages in the district. So it strips out the last little vestige of class size limits that teachers had in this province, and it will make class size, no more averages. You can have as many classes over 30 as you like with no obligation to meet an average class size. It's clearly an attack on public education. And it is not surprising. When I was in the leadership of the BCTF and we met with Shirley Bond, Shirley Bond used to say, Susan will remember this, I'm also the Minister of Private Education. So I guess the kids who go to schools where parents pay $15,000 for tuition or $20,000 for tuition and the government throws in another $4,000, I guess we should be worrying about those kids and not the kids who live in poverty in this province, the 20% of kids who live in poverty, and you see them in your classrooms all the time. It's a clear indication of the priorities of this government. Government is about choices. Leadership is about choices. This government has chosen to pick this fight with teachers. They could have gone to mediation. They could have bargained. What a novel idea with teachers. I remember standing in front of about 1,000 Victoria teachers in 2005 when we took the vote to go on strike that time, and saying at that time that in 4 years there had been 6 pieces of legislation directed at teachers. Well, now in 10 years there's been 18. Like, they're increasing their attack on teachers over this time. But I want to tell you a couple of things. You're not alone. The unions in this province, the BC Federation of Labour, the 450,000 members that we represent are strongly behind you. They understand your fight. And I see the steelworkers here and BCGEU here and IUO here. And CUPE's always with us, of course. I should list all the unions that are affiliates, but they are behind you 100%. They understand that this is an attack on your rights, and it's an attack on fundamental rights, the right to bargain, the right to free speech, the right to association. All of those rights are under attack with this piece of legislation. But it isn't only unions that are on your side. The public is on your side too. Absolutely. You know, and I have been to many general meetings in my day. all over this province, and teachers often say, you know, the public doesn't understand the job we do, they don't support us, and it's because we take criticisms to heart. You know, teachers want to do their job well, they want every kid to make it, we want to save every kid, and we want all parents to be happy. Not everybody is, we do take some criticism, but the vast majority of the public believes in teachers, thinks the work that you do is critically important because it is, and they think you deserve a cost of living increase at least. That's a pretty outrageous demand. And they really do support teachers. The BCFED has been polling over the last 2 weeks, and there is still very strong support for teachers in the public, as there always has been. And in particular, there's very high support for mediation or arbitration as a solution to this dispute. That support is in the 80s, and close to 90% of the public supports that over legislation. So you have to understand the public in British Columbia is on your side. I want to just end with a story. When I got elected as president of the BCTF in 2007, I followed Ginny Sims, who many of you will remember was the leader in the last strike. And she was well known to the media, and so it was big news when she stepped down and I was elected in her place. And there was this media scrum around me. And someone said to me, one of the reporters, mic in front of your face, said, "Are you going to be as much trouble as Ginny Sims?" And you know, when you're in the media, you have to learn to bite your tongue. I had a lot of responses. One, "You ain't seen nothing yet," was a possibility. But I said, you know, the BCTF has been around for 90 years. It was then, it's over 90 now. We started in 1917, and we had our first strike in 1919. Teachers in this province have, and it was a strike, you know, aimed at the government, just like this one, because they were being stupid, just like now. And the BCTF has always been an activist organization. I said, it's not about the leader, but frankly, we have to be trouble. It's important to be trouble. It's important to stand up to this government, to stand up for your rights, and other unions will be with you because they know how to be trouble too. So keep fighting. You know, this is about fundamental rights. It's about the right to bargain. It's about the right to free speech. It's about the right to freedom of association. But it's also about building the kind of province we want. The kind of province with a strong public education system where we care about kids. The kind of province with good health care. The kind of province where we have a child care system, for God's sakes. The kind of province where we get rid of child poverty, so families have the support they need, so the kids that come to school are well fed and well looked after. That's the kind of province we want. That's the kind of province you're fighting for. We're with you, and keep up the good work. Thank you.